So we have asked this that if you're changing the value of this count from this 00004 to 1000h, and if you do again this calculation, we can see the maximum amount of the delay we can achieve is 32.77 millisecond. So this will be one exercise for you. Please check it. If you are changing the value of the count, you can check that the amount of the delay that you are achieving is 32.77 millisecond. So now here I am using the some different technique, and this technique is given the name by using, we will do the nesting of the loop. So how you can do the next method is that nesting of loops. Nesting of the loop is that, suppose there is a one loop one, there is a loop, I'm saying this is loop is going like this. So this is your loop one, and this loop one is running inside the loop 2. Okay, so this is the loop 2. Okay, so whenever, for example, for each and every step of this loop 2, this loop 1 will be entirely executed. Okay, so this is called the nesting of the loop. I will give the one example how you can achieve the nesting of the loop. Okay, so for example, if I am writing a small program, so this program says that we are using the register method nesting. Okay, so we can see on here is that if I'm writing one program just like mvib, and I'm loading the some count just like 10h, and I'm using one more uh, register. I'm taking C as a register. First I will use this inside loop. So I have created this inside loop with the help of register C, and then I'm writing JNZ L1. So this is the label of loop 1. So I'm writing this L1 here. So this loop will be go like this. C will be decrement till it will become the 0. And my outer loop is I have created with the help of the register B. So now come to the point on here is that I will decrement this is by 1, and then I will check that whether I am getting the correct thing or not. But this loop will be terminated on the starting of the inner loop. Okay, so with the help of some different color, I will say that this is my internal loop. I am creating, this is my internal loop. So I am calling this is a loop 1. But in the loop 2, you can see that the loop 2 is like this. This is the loop 2, which is called the outer loop. Okay, so this is your outer loop. Just a minute. This is my outer loop, and this is my inner loop. Okay, so if I write down the T states in the front of each and every instruction, I will say the T state for this one is 7. Again, this one is for 7. This will take the total 4 T states. JNZL is take total 10 oblique 7. The reason I told you that why it will take this, like this is 4 and this is 10 oblique 7. Okay, so my point on here is that first we will do the calculation for the inner loop. So inner loop calculation we can do is that your inner loop here is fabricated with the help of this MVIC, FFH, DCRB and JNZ. So in the inner loop we will go to the calculation just like we will do the T states calculation. T states calculation especially for inner loop. I'm doing the circle with a different color. So you will easily say that if I am writing this one, so this is the outside of, I am writing T states outside of inner loop, and this is the t states of loop of inner. Okay, so we can say that the total t states consumed by the inner loop will be the combination of, for example, the total t states of inner loop is the combination of your t naught plus tl. Please write down inner loop. So it will take the total 7 plus the same calculation on here is that we will do the two brackets. Okay, it will run till 14 t states. Okay, count value is convert ff into this one, and then it will run till minus 3. Okay, so from here, if you are calculating this one, the total amount of the t states will come just like 3574. So this is the t states by the inner loop, by the inner loop. Okay, 3574 t state. Now we will do first thing is that when we are going for the outer loop, you can think about that if the count value is 10 and if it's decreasing, the count value is decreasing. For example, whatever value is coming, if it is at DCRB, it is decreasing, then you can think about that each and every decrement, this whole complete inner loop will be executed completely. Okay, for one single decrement of this outer loop count, this inner loop will be decrement completely. Okay, so you can think about that this loop will be run for entire duration. So we will do the calculation for outer loop also. So the t states of outer loop can be calculated by the t states outside the outer loop plus t states within a loop of outer loop. Okay, so obviously outer loop t states will be having if you're talking about the outer loop, then outer loop will take the total 7 t states. So I'm writing 7 due to, sorry, this one, plus whenever we are doing the calculation for this one, you can think about that we have to go like this. So outer loop, we can see outer loop is taking 70 states, and this outer loop, why it is taking 70 states? Because this is due to the instruction of MVI B10H. Okay, so this was the outer loop. Okay, once again we can go to the program and we can think about that the outer loop will be include this. I will use different color for that. Okay, so this is the outer loop t states, outer loop t states like this. So total 14 t states outer loop, but this outer loop will also cover these t states also, these t states also. Okay, so these t states will also come into the outer loop because this inner loop will become into the outer loop. So this, the total amount of the t state that is consumed into the inner loop will be included for the calculation of outer loop. Okay, so we can think about that the total number of the t states that is going for that one is 14 t states. Why 14? To remove this confusion, this is 4 and then 10 oblique 7. So this is 14 t states, 14 t states plus inner loop is taking this t states 3574 for one count. So this 3574. Okay, and this continuously is running, this continuously is running for how much amount of the count? So we can think about that the value of the count value is given as a 10 into the hexadecimal. If we convert this one, this is 16 into decimal number system. So for the calculation, we will take the decimal number system. So this is 16. Okay, now we will put one more bracket for that. Okay, and at the last loop it will run for 7 t states, means less than 3 t states, less than 3 t states. So we can think about that the total number of the t states, if we are calculating this one, it will come just like 5 7 4 1 2. You check this one. Now if this is the total outer loop t states, we can think this is the t states for outer loop. Okay, so when we are calculating the delay, again we will use the same formula for the execution time. So the execution time can be given just like we can think about that the total number of the t states, total t states given by 1 upon fc. So here my t states for the complete duration is 5142 into 1 upon 3 megahertz for 8085 microprocessor. So the amount of the delay that is coming for this calculation is 19.137 millisecond. You just check it. I am putting approximation sign. You just check it that whether this delay you are getting or not. And so I am giving the one exercise for you is that if in the inner and outer loop, so I'm writing this is the one exercise for you. Exercise says that count value for outer loop take as FFH, and also for the inner loop take as FFH, and just calculate the maximum amount of delay. Okay, and check that whether this answer is coming just like 299 millisecond. Just verify your answer with this 299 millisecond. If you are not getting, you are getting different answer, then we will discuss in the class. So I will tell you one more thing is that how you can introduce the time delay by register pair method. Okay, so delay using register pair method. Okay, here we are following the concept of nesting. Okay, so as we have made the program for using register method, this nesting method you have followed, loop within a loop technique. Again by using this one we will follow. So I will write down the simple code for you. You just try that the maximum amount of the count value is coming. So I am taking the two different register pair. I am using LXI B F F F F H. This will be my outer loop. Next I am using LXI D F F F F H. Okay, I am decreasing the value DCXD. For the inner loop I will do the calculation. I will first decrement it by 1. The register pair will be decremented by 1, and then for the condition to satisfy, to check the zero flag, we will follow the trick, and the trick says that you have to move the value of any register into the accumulator, do the ORing operation, do the ORing with the D, and check whether it is 0 or not. So this is Zn. So this L1 will be terminated here. This loop will be terminated here. So my inner loop portion is completed. Okay, for the outer loop I will again follow the same thing. I will decrement the outer loop by 1. I will take the one value into accumulator, and then I will perform the ORing operation with the B, and then I will do the JNZ L2, but this time this L2 will be terminated here. Okay, so I will show you the one more thing is that this is my inner loop. From here to here, this is my inner loop, and from here to here, this is my outer loop. Okay, so sorry, where we are, yeah. So you can think about that. We will write down the t states in front of every instruction. This will take total 10 t states. This will take total 10 t states. This will take 6 t states, 4 t states, 4 t states. JNZ will take 10 oblique 7. Again, the 6 t states by the DCXB. Move A comma C will take 4 t states, 4 t states by this one, and 10 oblique 7. Okay. So you can do the calculation and just check that what answer you are getting if you are using this method, and please try to find out the maximum amount of the delay that you are getting for this one. Okay, and then check. I will tell you the number of t states by the inner loop. For your verification, I will tell the inner loop will take the maximum amount of the t states will be 1, 5, 7, 2, 8, 4, 7. So this will be the total amount of the t states consumed by the inner loop. And for the outer loop, again you do the same calculation here, and they check that what value you are getting. Okay, so I am giving this amount of the hint. Just calculate the time delay. Okay, so the answer will become just like 34359.367 millisecond. Okay. Oh, so I hope that this lecture will be very helpful for you to calculate the amount of the time delay. If you want to give any time delay between the two events, you can do this calculation and you can introduce the time delay. One more important thing is that for sometimes the question is asked that here the value of the count is given, and you can easily calculate the how much amount of the delay it is giving. Okay, now what will happen that if somebody is asking you that I want a delay of 2 millisecond. So in this case, you have to count the value of count. Okay, so you have to calculate the value of count in this case. So this will be very helpful if you are proceeding in this way. Thank you. So as far as we know that we can calculate the delay by using the different method, and you can adopt the method like to calculate the delay. We can adopt a method of register method, or you can proceed for register pair. Okay, you do the nesting of these two method. Okay, and you do the nesting of the combination of register pair, okay, and register, as well as, or I will say vice versa. Okay, so as per your requirement, you can adopt any method and you can proceed for the delay calculation. One more thing that I want to say about the delay of this is that some problem is given. If suppose some problem is given in which you have to calculate a delay of 0.5 microsecond. Okay, if this problem is given to you, that you have to calculate the delay of 0.5 microsecond. So we before adopting or we can say before proceeding for this type of the problem, we should know the maximum limitation of each and every method. So for example, we cannot go for the register method, we will adopt the register pair method. Okay, so for the register pair method, suppose if I'm writing the program just like lxid, still I don't know the value of the count, so I'm writing this is count value. I will decrement the count, you know very well. And finally, because I cannot set the zero flag by using DCSD, I will take one of the value into the accumulator of this register pair, and I will perform the ORing operation with D, and then I will check JNZ L1. So L1 is the loop level. So this loop level is coming here. Okay. So I want to say something about that. This value is unknown for me. This value is unknown for me. Okay, so I know that this is the my problem, this problem is given to me. Okay, so how I can proceed for this? We can go for the delay calculation. The delay can be given as number of t states into 1 upon operating frequency of the microprocessor. So here we know the delay is given and frequency we know, so I will able to calculate the number of t states for this amount of the delay, which is 0.5 microsecond. So I will say that one quantity is in second, one quantity is coming in the hertz. So I will do one thing is that I want to do the same conversation. So for this I will know that I can write down the inverse of, because we know that the TC can be given as a 1 upon fc. Okay, so I can write down this one as a 1 upon tc is equal to number of t states. So if I proceed for this calculation, it shows me that the delay if is given of 0.5 second, for example 0.5 second is given. Okay, we can change it, we'll not go for this small calculation. There is a small correction here. So 0.5 second divided by TC. So this TC is just the reverse of this one. So I will say something that approximately it is coming just like 3.2552 into 10 to the power minus 7. When my f of c of 8085 microprocessor, if I am assuming as 3.07 megahertz. Okay, if I'm assuming as like this, so this will give me approximation value of the number of the t state is 1.536 into 10 to the power of 6. Okay, so this amount of t states I will require. So this is the maximum amount of the t states I will require here. So I will come to the next point on here is that, so you know very well that if I calculate the number of the t states, because I have to go for each and every instruction. So first I will write down the number of t states required by this, 10 t states required by this, 6 t states required by this, 4 by this, 4 by this, and 10/7. So I will say that within a loop it will apply 6 plus 4, 10, 14, 24, 24. So I will write down that total t states can be given as 10 plus the count value will be this time decrement by 1 into 24 plus in the last time it is running as 21 times. So approximately if I calculate on here is 1.536 into 10 to the power 6 10 plus count minus 1 into 24 plus 21. So it will give the count value to me as 64000 in, so my count value will become as FA00H. So this amount of the delay will be required for the delay of 0.5 second. Okay, so you have to load this delay, into this unknown count. So my delay value, if I am putting the value as FA00H, this loop will be, or we can say this subroutine will give me a delay approximately of FA00H. So if suppose some problem is given that you have to calculate the delay of this second, you can adopt this method. Then your final count you have to load down into the final program. Your program will be run for the desired delay. Thank you so much.